No, no, just to begin I'm unable to see it. So yes, okay. So now we can start.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to get connected with all of you today in this webinar of stroke, one of the most important topics in neurology. So, you would be interested to know that the word stroke comes from the word strike. Strike means it comes suddenly, like a blow. Any symptom which is related to brain that happens suddenly can be a stroke. It can be a vision problem or weakness or loss of consciousness or anything. So we'll discuss about it in more detail. Before that, I want to acknowledge that we are all in the middle of a pandemic. So we all are going through different emotions like stress, anxiety, confusion, boredom, agitation, restlessness. And it is okay to feel all this because we are all going through these emotions, but we know that these emotions are arising and passing away. They are just coming and going. They are not going to remain all the time. I bring to you greetings from my hospital, Columbia Asia Hospital, Sarjapur Road, Bangalore. And before going to the talk, I want to request all of you that we can stop the spread of coronavirus from one person to another, but it is very important to stop the spread of fear. So don't give any place to fear because more than 98% of patients with coronavirus they improve completely. So let us be fearless and take all the precautions against coronavirus and be healthy because fear is an illusion. So coming to today's talk, our objectives are to understand stroke and its types, to know the symptoms of stroke, learn the ways to prevent stroke, whether the stroke can be prevented and how to prevent it, know how stroke can affect our life, understand the management of stroke, know the importance of stroke rehabilitation, and practice strategies to prevent a recurrent stroke. So, understanding stroke and its symptoms. So, what exactly means by stroke? As I said, it comes suddenly. So, any symptom in neurology which comes suddenly can be a stroke. If we look at the American Heart Association updates in 2019, they say that every 40 seconds, every one person in US gets a stroke, and every 38 seconds somebody gets a heart attack. On an average, somebody dies of stroke every 3.7 minutes, and there are about 389 deaths from stroke every day based on 2016 data. So this is a very big number and very big effect. Why Indians should worry? According to the Indian data, stroke is the third leading cause of death after the heart disease and the lung infections. However, we do not have any national program to spread awareness of stroke, unlike we have it for TB, HIV, and some other communicable diseases. So there is a very big burden for stroke. Is my voice echoing? Okay, let me just look at it. Stroke has 10 to 20% of death rate. 50% of stroke survivors have a permanent disability and become dependent. It's a major economic burden. In India, 10 to 15% of strokes occur in age below 40 years. So this is one more important thing. We feel that stroke is a disease which happens because of only in the old people, but it is not true. Stroke also happens in younger people. Uh, a neurologist like me sees at least 10 patients of stroke in a year. What is a stroke or brain attack? Let me just refresh my page because there's some technical error. You guys.
No, sir, not you, sir, not you. From your side, everything is perfect.
Okay.
The attendees, if they are going, then they can just refresh your page. Everything is proper.
Okay, fine. So I will just carry on. So basically, stroke or brain attack means the blood vessels that carry blood to the brain from the heart are basically, these are called arteries, which carry the pure blood, and the brain needs constant supply of the blood, which carries oxygen and nutrients to need to for its function. You would be amazed to know more than 60% of oxygen of the body goes to the brain. However, brain is very less. If you take the body weight, brain is hardly 1.5 to 2 kgs. And stroke happens when one of the arteries supplying the brain is either blocked or it bursts or it just breaks and there is a bleeding. As a result, because of this clot, because of this, the blood doesn't go to the artery, doesn't go to the brain. So the brain does not get the blood it needs. So it starts dying. So it can be because of a clotting or it can be because of the burst of the artery, which can cause hemorrhage or bleeding in the brain. So if it is because of the clotting, it is called ischemic stroke. It is the most common type of stroke, and it happens when the artery in the brain is blocked. Hemorrhagic stroke happens when the blood vessel in the brain bursts and spills the blood into and around the brain. And the most common cause of hemorrhagic stroke is high BP, that is hypertension. If you look at the mild stroke, it is also called transient ischemic attack. Transient ischemic attack means there are symptoms of stroke, but then they disappear on its own. In that case, if an artery in the brain or one that goes to brain is blocked for a short time, the blood slows down and stops, and then automatically the blood vessel opens because of the mechanisms, because of the protective mechanisms in the body, and the symptoms are transient. So symptoms improve without any treatment. So this is called TIA or transient ischemic attack. It is a serious warning that you might have a stroke. So if you get any neurological symptom like weakness on one side, slurring of speech, or any vision problem or any balance issues which improve in about few minutes to hours on its own, please don't ignore. This can be a serious warning that you may have a transient ischemic attack or small stroke and you need to consult your doctor immediately. So what are the symptoms of stroke? The symptoms of stroke are memorized with the acronym FAST. FAST, the F means facial drooping. Like there is a drooping over the face because of which the person cannot speak properly and the face is deformed. The second is arm weakness. The one of the arm or the leg is weak. S is speech. The slurring of speech can be a symptom of stroke. And T is the time to call. If a person shows any of these symptoms, even if the symptoms go away, we have to call the doctor immediately and rush to the stroke equipped center for treatment. Additional symptoms can be any, as I said, any sudden symptom like any sudden numbness or weakness of the face, arm and leg, especially on the one side of body, sudden confusion, trouble in speaking or understanding speech, sudden trouble seeing in one or both eyes, sudden trouble in walking, imbalance, dizziness or loss of balance or coordination, sudden severe headache of unknown cause. All these things can be an additional symptom of stroke which need immediate attention. Receiving timely stroke treatment is an important step to recovery. Knowing the warning signs of stroke may be the difference between recovery and disability. So it is very important to know these warning signs and not to ignore them. So the symptoms of stroke depend upon which part of the body is involved. Suppose the stroke involves this language area, then patient may have just difficulty in comprehending speech. It may just be a speech or language dysfunction. There can be just difficulty in writing and reading. So we do see patients who say just I'm not able to read and write suddenly. That can be a small symptom of stroke. It can be a simple difficulty to do math or organize, reason or analyze things, a little bit of confusion, or difficulty in copying things, or artist who was doing creative pictures suddenly is not able to draw properly. So there can be some subtle symptoms of stroke. The main line is whether it is suddenly happening. If it is suddenly happening, we do have to take it seriously and visit a nearest neurologist. What are the effects of stroke? Some of the effects of stroke is patients of stroke may have difficulties in vision. They may have seizures because of the scar which is created in the brain. They are more prone to get fits or seizures. They may have weakness, that is difficulty in moving parts of body. They may have fatigue, memory issues if it involves the hippocampus or memory areas of the brain. They may have difficulty in sleeping or controlling bladder movements in if it is an anterior cerebellar artery stroke. They may have, some patients with thalamic stroke may have severe pains or burning sensation on one side of body. As a effect, they may have difficulty in thinking and depression also. So how to prevent stroke? It is very important to understand that 80% of strokes can be prevented. And this is a very good news. So the best treatment is rather prevention, because once the stroke happens, if you don't come to hospital within 3 hours or within an hour as early as possible, we cannot prevent this. We cannot treat it completely. We cannot reverse the effects of stroke in many cases if patient doesn't reach hospital within 3 hours. So the best way is to make healthy lifestyle choices, controlling the medical conditions that increase the risk of stroke. So what are the most important things? The one is the balanced diet. Balanced diet, we all take our diet and food for granted. Most important thing is eating on time. Most of us, or many of our mothers who are homemakers, they don't eat on time. Whenever they're hungry, they will have tea, coffee, juice. They will not take care of their daily routine. This is a small thing, but that will increase the stress in the body and may lead to lifestyle diseases, and which may in turn lead to stroke. So eating on time, eating well, and eating your dinner early. If some people I see, they eat at their dinner after 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, that is going to affect their digestive system, and that is of course going to affect them in long term. So it will be indirectly responsible for stroke by affecting their metabolism. Next is avoiding stress, because we know all of us have to face stress. We cannot avoid stress completely. So we have to learn a better ways to deal with stress. Mindfulness meditation helps a lot in dealing with stress. Vipassana meditation helps. Reducing overweight, intermittent fasting, and there are many other ways to lose weight. Regular exercise, yoga, pranayama is absolutely useful. Drink plenty of water as per need. So many of our doctors tell you drink 5 liters water, 6 liters water. If somebody is sitting in Bangalore, sitting in AC whole day, not doing any physical activity, why he will need 6 liters of water? So the bottom line is drink water as per the need. Do not ignore your bodily needs. Correct? And enough sleep. It is very important to sleep early. Not like some people say we sleep at 1 o'clock, we wake up at 10 o'clock, but then you are not respecting the biological clock. You need to sleep on time, that is by 10 or 11 o'clock, so that you are respecting the biological clock, and it is a better healthy lifestyle for you to go early to bed and early to rise. Other things in eating healthy diet is eating good amount of fruits and vegetables, adding fiber to our daily life, stop sweetening drinks, refined carbohydrates, maida based products and added sugars, and avoiding trans fat, like as shown in this picture, cheeseburgers and pizzas, and so many different things, donuts and so many things. And it's always good to eat salt as per need, not to overeat the salt. This is very interesting. Did you know that 1 can of cola contains around 10 teaspoons of free sugar? So this is very important to know. That is, a 40 grams of sugar is there in 1 can of cola. So it's very important to avoid these soft drinks. And 1 tablespoon of ketchup contains 1 teaspoon of sugar. So it is always better to avoid this fast foods and stored foods, and rather than eat our traditional foods which we have been eating. Making a healthy lifestyle choice. Be physically active. Each week, an adult is recommended to have at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise like brisk walk. And children and teens should get 1 hour of physical activity every day. It is very important that you feel fresh after your exercise. Some patients we see, they will do over exercise. They will do exercise to that extent that they get so much tired. It is not necessary to pull yourself so much. 150 minutes in a week, it comes to around 30 minutes daily for about 5 to 6 days. So do it as per your capacity. Watch your weight. If you are overweight or obese, start maintaining a healthy and diet and exercise. Check your body mass index and talk to your doctor. Quit smoking. Of course, cigarette smoking is the worst thing, which will increase the problem. And better is not to eat completely, not to smoke at all. Smoking is very, very bad for health. Control the medical conditions, like people who are suffering from hypertension, diabetes, and cholesterol. It is very important to check your levels and control them correctly. It is also very important to know that the increase in cholesterol, the main reason is stress. Dietary intake, of course, affects the blood cholesterol, but more importantly, the stress which causes liver to produce more cholesterol. So regular meditation, exercise, and yoga will definitely help you, which will help you in reducing the risk factors of stroke. Coming to the managing stroke is an emergency. Every minute is important. We say that time is brain. Every minute, a lot of brain cells die. They say as much as 5 to 6 lakhs of brain cells die every minute in a patient of stroke. So we want to treat the patient so that the blood flow to the brain is restored. So person needs to be at the hospital within 60 minutes of having a stroke to be evaluated and receive treatment. There is something called IV thrombolysis, in which we give an injection. If there is a clot in one of the arteries of the brain, we give an injection to burst that clot. That injection can be given only till 3 to 4.5 hours. In selected patients, it can be given up to 4.5 hours. Otherwise, in few patients, only till 3 hours. So it is very important to reach hospital in time, nearest hospital and stroke equipped hospital. Wherever there is a neurologist, you need to go quickly as soon as possible to the nearby hospital and get yourself treated, because time is brain, time is the most important factor. So in the hospital, if you come within 3 to 4.5 hours, we give an injection called TPA, tissue plasminogen activator, which is known to dissolve the clot if there is a clot in the brain, which can be dissolved during the limited time. And if the patient has a large vessel artery blockage, like there is one of the blockage in the carotid arteries or the major artery like basilar artery or the middle cerebral artery, then it can be used to treat like endovascular procedures can be used to treat this stroke. Like in the heart, we do angioplasty, we put a catheter from the femoral artery, one of the artery from the thigh, and then go in the heart. In the same way, we put one of the catheter through the femoral artery, one of the artery of the thigh, and go in the brain. And wherever clot is, we just try to remove the clot. But that treatment can be done in selected cases as much as ideally within 8 hours of the onset of stroke, or in some cases can be done up to 24 hours of onset of stroke. But that is a personal decision of the treating neurologist. And if a patient is having a stroke because of the bleeding in the brain, again the endovascular treatment can be done in case of subarachnoid hemorrhage and all that. So in case of treatment, the most important thing is to come in the hospital on time and nearest hospital, so that we can treat you with a IV TPA injection to burst the clot in the brain. Coming from the stroke recovery after the discharge from hospital. So what to expect from a stroke? So patient with stroke may have different problems, as we discussed. In addition to paralysis, they may have trouble in thinking, speech problems, controlling emotions, depression, trouble chewing and swallowing, problems with urine and stroke control. So it is very important to understand all these symptoms, they improve with time. The paralysis also, in some patient it improves in a week, in some patient it takes 3 months, in some patient it doesn't improve completely. So rehabilitation is the most important place. Consult your doctor and physiotherapist, speech therapists, and they will help you to deal with all your symptoms. Some of the patients of stroke need a help from a psychiatrist so that they can learn to deal with their emotions in a better way. So it is a multidisciplinary approach wherein we need teamwork. We also involve cognitive training experts. There is a neuro rehab department where selected patients who are having major stroke we need to admit, and we need to address all their problems and do the rehabilitation so that they improve completely. As I said, speech therapy will help to regain the lost abilities in speaking, listening, writing, and comprehension. Physical therapy, that is exercises to help you relearn the movement and coordination skills which you may have lost. Occupational therapy is very important to improve your daily activities such as eating, drinking, dressing, bathing, reading, and writing. So these are basically simple techniques to make the life easy for the stroke patients. What are the factors that affect the outcome in the stroke rehab? As we said, the stroke recovery depends from person to person. A patient having a very small stroke, that is a lacunar stroke, which is not in the important area of the brain, may not have symptoms at all. So, but a patient who are having a big strokes, they may take a more time to recover, and the recovery, the rehabilitation may go on for months together. So this factors depend on the severity of stroke, motivation and adherence to the neurohab sessions. If the patient and the family is motivated, it helps in recovery faster. Support of family and friends, that also is an important factor. And it is very early, it is very important to start your rehabilitation early and with a very good stroke neuro rehab team. We have to address all the emotional, physical, social, and therapeutic factors in case of rehabilitation. So the stroke neuro rehab, as we discussed, should begin as soon as possible. The sooner you begin, the more likely you are able to regain your abilities. And within 24 to 48 hours, when you are in hospital, we always start the rehab. Once you are out of danger, the whole rehab team works for you for your improvement. So some coming towards the end, a few tips for the caregivers. Be aware of the patient's medications and their adverse effects. So some of the stroke medicines like anticoagulants may make the blood thin and may make the patient prone for bleeding. So if the patient falls, the bleeding may be more than usual. So the relatives have to be, the caregivers have to be aware about the medications and their side effects. Reduce the risk for subsequent stroke. Ensure healthy diet, exercise, medication adherence as prescribed and as a regular doctor. It is very important to consider assistance from physical or occupational therapists and to get support for imbalance that results in falls. So prevention of falls is very, very important in case of stroke patients. You need to modify your room and the where patient stays so that even if he falls, he doesn't get injured. And if stroke patient falls, we have to take him to hospital immediately, because as I said, they are in the because of the blood thinners, they are more prone to getting more bleeding. It is very important to monitor changes in attitude and behavior, whether your loved one is having hard time in controlling emotions. Of course, some of the patients with stroke will have changes in behavior. The changes in behavior can be because of the stroke itself or as an emotional response to stroke. Post-stroke depression can significantly affect one's recovery. Like I had a patient who had right-sided weakness. She improved very significantly, but the hand distal power did not improve much. So she was very depressed. Why my hand is not improving? Why my hand is not improving? We had to keep on motivating her. Ma, it will take time. You have to wait for 2 to 3 months. Slowly the effect will come. Because initially the recovery may be glaring. As the time passes, the recovery will be very slow and it may not be noticed by the patients. take care of yourself. The caregivers also have to take a break from caregiving by asking another family member, otherwise they will undergo burnout. So they have to take help from other friends, neighbors, so that you have to take time for yourself so that you don't affect your health. Preventing another stroke is a very important thing. So we always give medications to give prevent strokes, but all these antiplatelets, as per the medical science, they don't give 100% protection against the recurrent stroke. They give only 30 to 40% protection. So it is most important that you, if you had a stroke, it's very important to control the risk factors like high blood pressure, diabetes, and manage your medications. Stop drinking, eat right, quit smoking, get active, and reduce your weight. So take home message is stroke is a medical emergency. Know the symptoms of stroke and act immediately. The best treatment for stroke is prevention. Make a healthy food, lifestyle changes, control medical condition like BP, cholesterol, and diabetes. Stroke rehabilitation can help you regain your strength, your courage, and your independence after stroke, and control the risk factors and adherence to the prescribed medications to prevent the second stroke. So I hope you all understood the message, and we are open for any of the questions now. Hello everyone. You can either type your questions or you can ask them one by one. Is there a facility they can ask the questions?
No, sir. They need to post it on the chat box.
Yes, yes.
For the post around, in case if the attendees are available, they can just post it in the chat box.
Yes, any questions?
So in the chat box, there's one question.
Yes, yes.
At 7:24. Please hand over the phone to the just swipe it up. You will get a question by. There is a slide like these are the slides.
I cannot hear the question.
Hello?
Hello, yes. We'll start at 30 seconds after your introduction. Hello, yes, doctor. Coordinator will give you an introduction and we will hand over the session to you. Okay, sir? Okay, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sir. So after your introduction, we will be handing over the session to you. And for
There is one question saying that I just want to understand about minor stroke, you said. So a patient who is having, there are basically 4 types of stroke medically we say. There is something called small vessel stroke, wherein it affects a very small area of the brain. And the patient, most of the cases, if it is in the areas of the brain which are not functionally very important, patient may not have any symptoms. So we may find it out later, Rohit, that patient had a stroke in past. So these are called silent strokes. So not all strokes may present with symptoms. Few of the strokes may not have any symptoms, and some of the strokes are called transient ischemic attacks, wherein there are symptoms like there is imbalance or there is double vision or there is weakness of one side of body which improves on its own. So we call it as transient ischemic attack. So all these strokes we can categorize as minor strokes. Of course, minor stroke is a general term which is not a medical term.
Prathamesh?
yes, sir. You can leave the browser. I'm right here, sir.
My mom, Kumuda is asking, my mom-in-law had stroke with bleeding in her brain last October. She has recovered now completely, but her behavior has changed completely. Will she get back to normal? Yes, your mom can get back to normal. Kindly consult your neurologist and also check with him whether you should consult a psychiatrist, because there are medications which will help her to come back completely to normal. In some cases, if the stroke is involving the stroke is involving this language area of the brain, then the then the behavioral problem might be because of the difficulty in comprehension or expression. So that we need to find out why exactly there is a change in behavior. Based on that, we can treat her. So somebody is asking, I got silent stroke 3 times. Last was 5 years back. What care do I need to take? So many strokes are called, there are cryptogenic strokes wherein there is no cause found in few patients. So in them, the importance of lifestyle and meditation is very, very important. They need to focus on their daily routine, eat on time, sleep on time, take care of your exercise, general things. These look general things, but these are extremely important, and it's very important to take the medications regularly, so that you reduce this risk of stroke by taking medication. So lifestyle, as we discussed, control of risk factors, medications, meditation, and exercise is very important. Of course, some of the behavioral issues, they take time, but if you involve Kumuda, psychologists, psychiatrists, and you can get a better results. What is the risk on stroke due to low BP? There are some strokes called hemodynamic strokes. Like few people have, there are 2 major arteries which supply the brain from the front. These are called carotid arteries, and 2 from behind, which are called vertebral arteries. If one of the arterial diameter is already reduced significantly, it is tight blockage, and then the BP is less, then the perfusion, then the blood supply to that area of brain goes down. So some of the strokes can be because of low BP also. So it's very important to find out whether patient is having any blockages in the carotid or the vertebral arteries, and then open them up with the stenting or carotid endarterectomy if it is medically indicated, in consultation with your neurologist. Thank you, everyone. It is pleasure to get connected with all of you. I'll be happy to answer any more questions.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So you done?
Yeah, if there are any more questions. If there are no questions, we can be done. I will share my email ID here. So if you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, you can.
Perfect, sir.
This is my email ID. And my receptionist, my clinic number. Thank you, everyone. It is pleasure to interact with all of you. Thank you, Prathamesh. Thank you, Dr. Reddy's Lab and TechnoDigi for hosting this program.
Right. So thank you so much.
And thank you for the listeners, most important people.
Right, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So we'll conclude it. Thank you so much, sir. It was a
Thank
good
you.
presentation. Yeah.
Thank you.